Curse Higher. Beyond the Boundary. Guess what, Jason?
What, Tom?
We're no longer award-winning.
No, we still are.
Well, we did win an award for this
We're
podcast.
award-winning.
We didn't
We're
go,
not the...
We didn't go back-to-back.
No, and we'll need to talk to some people at AFL Victoria about that. It's terrible.
We got beaten by the VAFA. We got beaten by a bunch of amateurs.
It's just horrific. Well, we'll just... I think this year we're just going to...
We're going to have to lift.
We'll just lift a little bit.
Yeah.
And we'll just get back to that lunch.
Can you lift a little bit?
Well, it's not me have to do the heavy lifting here. Come on, you're in charge. You're the captain.
Wow.
I'm just co-piloting.
So the heavy lifting starts. Let's go to the top.
Well,
very top.
Right.
Is
Ash West coming in again? Oh, no.
Poor Ash, no.
No,
Ash won't be.
No?
Ash probably, he's had enough of us for the moment, I reckon.
I think so.
The power rankings, when you do them at the end of the year,
Yes.
There's a chance that our
there's
next
changes.
guest will be on those power rankings.
Yeah, she might be.
Yeah.
She might be.
We'll
see how she goes.
We do speak of the new CEO of AFL Barwon in Kate Patterson, who's been good enough to join us for the first time on Beyond the Boundary. Thanks to Curse Higher, by the way.
Always.
Yes, thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Jared. See, I've done a Benny.
You have to.
Benny calls him Jason.
Does he really?
Yeah, on Cat Attack
podcast. No, he's always Jared in the team at Curse Higher.
Yeah, North Geelong Grove, Dale and Ocean Grove.
3 great locations.
Kate Patterson's got a big smile on her face. Wonder if that'll still be there in about
She's going,
20 minutes' time.
What the hell are you two doing?
Hello, Kate. Welcome to you.
Hi, Kingy. Great to be here, and thank you to Curse.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
beautiful. Well done.
All right.
Well done.
Kate, get your dirty little secret out of the way first.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I might lose a few listeners.
Who do you barrack for?
Oh, no.
There's only one team.
Oh, no. If she says Hawthorn, I'm out.
No.
No.
Worse.
No.
Essendon?
No.
Collingwood.
Yeah.
There we go, the Pies.
I can sort of do the Pies. I can't do Hawthorn. If you had to do Hawthorn,
Great
that
start
was
to
it.
the season. Just like to add.
Collingwood. Oh,
Yep.
my God.
Wow.
Seriously. That's not going to last that long in this town, Kate, can I tell you?
2023 champions.
All right,
Oh, my God.
We've got any other dirty laundry you want to wear to the listeners of local football and netball?
That is as bad as it gets.
All right, that's okay.
Promise.
That's
Kate Patterson's story, very quickly. Give us how you end up being the CEO of what the biggest sporting body outside the Neil you'll argue, Johnny United basketball.
There's a phone call.
Yeah, probably.
It's a phone call.
In the top 3 sporting organisations in the Geelong or the Barwon region.
How did I get here? Look, it was a long. It was a long process actually, and in fact, the first I heard about the role was through this podcast. Hearing you guys talk about it, so that was
Our reach and frequency, hey? How's our reach? How's our cume? It's great. I love it.
Shut up, you.
But no, look, I've come from an extensive sports administration background and worked as well in government. I've had my own events business, worked in media, marketing, lots of different things along the way. But most recently, worked with the national body for cycling, for road, mountain bike, track, and BMX cycling around Australia. Mainly in commercial and marketing roles, but spent a lot of time there. I spent several years also at Netball Australia. Spent about 6 years there in various commercial roles, and that culminated with leading the establishment of Super Netball, which was a fun time. And here I am. I've been living down the coast for 10 years. Absolutely love the region, and what an amazing opportunity to sort of bring, I guess, my skills and experience into a role like this at a time that's pretty exciting for community football and netball.
We ain't seen nothing yet. If you're going to take you over AFL Barwon. In terms of the process then, because I think it was before Christmas, wasn't it? Did it start before Christmas?
I think I was offered the job on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, right, okay.
I think we reported on it.
I think it was announced on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah.
So a bit of a long-held process, and then obviously having to leave your other role. In terms of the interim period, were you starting to sort of get a feel for it? What did you know about AFL Barwon or the sport in the region sort of thing from that perspective?
Yeah, interesting. Like I did a lot of homework in the lead up, throughout the recruitment process. And like anything, I think the more you go down the track and it starts to be a real possibility, the more I really did sort of do a lot of talking to different people from different cohorts around the coast, around the region. Yeah. Lots of research. So I felt like I came into the role pretty much eyes wide open. But certainly even in that interim period over the Christmas New Year break, I caught up with quite a few of the people I knew I'd be working with, which was good. So it was nice to start feeling like I already had a bit of a fair idea of what I was in for.
You're in the job less than 2 weeks, and a club says we can't field our senior football and reserves football teams. That's a nice first challenge straight up to deal with.
It wasn't the first 2 weeks, Kingy. It was day one. In fact, I will say that Ash gave me a call on Sunday night and said, "Just going to give you the heads up. It could be an interesting first day."
Oh, what an entrance!
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, you have these sort of best laid plans of the first 90 days, I'm just going to listen and learn and get my feet under the desk. And no, it was. I'd say it was straight into it.
All right. Well, let's sink our teeth into Lara. We've got plenty to talk about, but the Lara situation, what are we now, 5 weeks on since the decision was made for them to not compete in the open age footy in 2026? Where do things look at in terms of resetting and moving forward for them that potentially we could see them in 2027 in some way, shape or form?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what we're all hoping for. So we sat down with them, I'd say a week or so ago. They've put together a futures working group that's being chaired by Phil Clohesi. I think I can let people know that. So Phil's got a long and illustrious background in footy in the region.
So he was Football Geelong's first CEO.
Yeah,
back in the late 90s. He was.
Also a Magpie supporter, I might just add.
Oh, God. I was aware of that.
So, no, look, Phil came in with a couple of Lara Sporting Club reps last week, and we've very much said, looking at how we can work, so AFL Barwon are very keen to sort of be involved right from the beginning, obviously, and I think we'll end up being myself and Ash that sit on that working group. It's a pretty critical piece to get right, and I think, one of the first things that we'll be looking at is how did we get to this point, and I think everyone has their own views, but really sort of getting under the hood and understanding, what's led to this situation and how do we best support Lara in getting back to a position where they're fielding senior men's clubs next year.
Is there an expectation from the club that they would be, that their thought process is that they'll be back in the GFL next year?
Their thought process is they want to be back playing footy next year.
Yeah, okay, that's a good start.
Yeah,
okay. So there's no real determination yet on what that might look like from
I would say that at the moment everything's on the table.
Sure.
So I want to look at what's going to be best for the club and for the broader competition as well.
Do you get the GDFNL involved in those discussions?
I think everything's open at the moment. I would say, look, Phil's going to call. We haven't had the first meeting beyond that, sort of working out who's going to be on the group. Having said that, we're very aware that, and Phil's very aware that it's not going to be a long, drawn-out process. That we'd need to have a pretty good position by June, so that we're in a position for next year that we can start to plan with certainty.
It goes pretty quick, doesn't it? Yeah, it goes quick, doesn't it? Yeah. And in terms of them as a club, I suppose the easier bit is that they're still functioning pretty much as a sporting club. They've got netball and they've got junior football and things like that. So it's just how you place the little extra bit and how it all works process-wise.
That's right. Look, I believe their juniors are still looking really strong. Netball is, I know they're fielding some senior netball they've got some upcoming practice matches, which is great to see. So we're hoping that they still thrive in those other competitions.
Do we know if their netball or senior netball's been impacted by the senior football withdrawing, as in you might have had some players who were partners of players who have gone, well, we're looking elsewhere now because we're either following our partner or we only came here because of, who we were dating, married to, etc. Yeah,
look, I think to some extent that has been a bit of a concern over the last few weeks in particular. They've got a fabulous head of netball, Shana, who's been working behind the scenes and in fact they did a bit of a last-minute, really strong push to drive registrations. Last I heard is that it's looking really promising for this year, which is good. But no, there's no doubt that it had some flow-on impact.
We'll be following the Lara story closely throughout the year. Lara aside, what's the biggest challenge you've identified in your first 6 weeks in the role?
Just one.
I like to think of the opportunities, Kingy. No, look, there's no doubt there's plenty of challenges. I mean, I think Lara, and as I said, look, we want to understand what's led to this because, I know a year ago we were probably having similar conversations around North Shore. There's a number of other clubs. I think that whole looking at how do we get to point, there are some clubs that are oversubscribed across different, juniors, seniors, and others that are really struggling to find numbers. So, we'll be looking at all of that. And I know it's been a discussion that's been going for a while now, but, how do we move forward to ensure a long-term sustainability of all the clubs and having really healthy, thriving competitions?
One of the big conversations that's, when Tom had hair, we were talking about this, was promotion and relegation. And
I haven't heard those words.
No, I'm sure you would have had them in the interview process. But in terms of, it's sort of been mooted for a while. Yeah. It nearly came to fruition. It hasn't come to fruition. Do you see down the track where, the commission / board, whatever.
Board now,
of AFL bound for this year. It'll be another name next year. We'll make a decision that will actually happen. That there will be, we'll have to go to that process from a club, keeping them going scenario.
I think it's inevitable there'll need to be some significant change, and I'd say in the next few years.
Yep.
I think it's important the work that has gone before has probably laid the foundations and started the conversation. I also don't think there's necessarily one thing that's going to fix everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes in these situations you need to look at a whole range of levers that might be pulled, and it could be quite transformational as well. So without wanting to preempt anything, I think it's early days.
Do the GDFNL need to be on board for promotion relegation to work in this region?
I think it would be... yes, I hope so. But I think so. I think we'd want to look at the whole region. Clearly, and we obviously have a great relationship with them. And I think one of my first meetings was with Daryl down at Buckley's. But no, absolutely, I think it would be important that they're talked to.
What are you smiling at?
What are you smiling at?
No, I'm smiling at him smiling because we're
all smiling.
You're adamant the GDFNL.
As my bottom points to the ground, it'll never happen. It'll never happen while the current regime is in the GD.
It's a new regime.
No, it's not.
It's still. Is Neville still?
Neville's still an OAM. He's still number one on the power broker list until we change it. He'll be listening too.
Is he sort of the godfather?
Look, it's. I think there's some. Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's some levers that you can pull that are outside of the big picture stuff. I mean, I've always worried that there's too many clubs in the town, too many clubs in the region to sustain. And I think unfortunately the Lara scenarios found that it's quite easy to lose them, and it's very hard to get them back too. So I worry that as you said before, Kate, the sustainability of some clubs where other clubs have got masses of.
We've also got new clubs coming in.
That's what I mean, and new clubs as well. So how do we massage that to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to do exactly what they want? Pretty much, that's going to be the key, I think, from a region perspective.
Yeah.
So segueing to the thirds competition, of course, Heath Jamieson put it on the table 3 weeks ago, and hasn't it become a talking point around town, Jason?
You're talking about it a lot.
Yeah, well,
what happens when we lead things on in sporting, prowess around the... Did somebody follow us with that sort of story?
Did
they
they
really?
did.
Oh, that's good.
They
Nice.
did. Yes,
Nice.
they picked it up.
Oh, well
because
they
it's
must
a
listen.
They
do.
Oh, good.
They do.
Good. Where are we at with a thirds competition? Is it a viable option for 2026? Because I'm hearing there is enough interest among clubs, and it appears it's Ballerine clubs that are driving it.
I did put a call into Fitzy this morning just to see where things are up to. I would say it's it's something that, and the board talked about it last week. The board is certainly open to it. I would say it's starting to look less likely. I don't want to preempt anything, but it is getting close to when we need to make a call. I think it comes, there's certainly interest from a small number of clubs. Other clubs are interested in learning more. What I would say has come out of this is there's a strong appetite to do it down the track. Is 26 or 27 when's the right time? But we'll make that call pretty quickly.
We've had a bit of upheaval in 26. 27 might be a bit better.
Is there an issue, though, with the aesthetic of it? We've lost to clubs, senior and reserves football, but we're going to run a third grade competition.
Oh, absolutely. But look, that's something we spoke about at board level. I also heard, what Heath had to say, and I know he put a different spin on it, which, is that it potentially provides an opportunity for some of those Lara players, which is definitely a way to look at it. But no, look, for us, it's around, I think being so close to the start of the season, we've pretty much said, we need the clubs to be committed. They're going to have to be really involved in driving it. Given a timing, and I'd say my team pretty much have their hands full as it is with with some of the changes they've had to adapt to over the last few weeks. But yeah, I'd say this time next week I'd hope that we'd have some certainty.
So I did get my hands, I won't say where, but I got my hands on a little document that actually found it somehow. I didn't know Ballerine Football League letterheads still existed.
I didn't know that either.
No, but anyway, I'm trying to open this photo up, and this is really bad radio.
I was going to say, this is terrible podcasting.
I need to hold my phone away from the camera
terrible
too.
Podcasting.
What is it? No, my eyesight's no good either. Here we go. Non-compulsory, Bellarine, GFNL, GDFNL eligible. 8-week season running from April 17 to June 27, so 8 rounds, 2 weeks of finals, 1v4, 2v3 with winners to play in a GF. Once clubs commit, a fee will be charged for game forfeits. There's a good way to make some money, Kate. Days of play, preferably Friday night, 7 to 7:30 start, other time and days by mutual agreement. 4 by 20-minute quarters straight, 16 aside. Oh, a bit of VFA. We play at West, under lights.
Where's Radojevic when we need him?
Players to be registered at clubs via Play HQ for insurance purposes. Club umpires to be supplied. AFL Barn will charge affiliation fees pro rata for season length. Does that sound a little bit right?
That sounds amazing.
Where did you get that from? you on the working group or something?
No. No, just people are keeping me in the loop.
That sounds like an amazing concept for maybe 2027.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've got it. It feels like it's probably running against time. Is that a fair...
Look, I don't ever like to say... I don't like to say never, but I think, I think we're starting to run against time, yes.
We spoke about the juniors before, and obviously there's been some movement over the years from 13s, 15s, 17s to 19s and back to 18s and things like that. It seems to be working okay at the moment. I know that there's some clubs that talk about the grading scenario and how that works, and before is there any changes happening from a junior perspective? The grades are all okay. It seems that numbers are fine in most areas.
Yeah, I believe they are. I think there's a junior working group. So you probably know I've got a new head of football. Well, not so new now, but in Sarah Naylor. So she and her team are looking at. They've got a junior working group to look at more around next year. But no, I think at the moment by all accounts it's looking good this year. Okay. So hopefully not too much to change.
Do we need to cap clubs' junior teams? And do we need to even start it earlier at Auskick? Because there are clubs with Auskick numbers coming out of their backsides.
Yeah, and they're all discussions I've heard. I would say that's an area that I'm yet to... But I had my first conversation with a junior club just yesterday, but that's an area that I'll be looking forward to learning more about. Super important, obviously. And look, that will be one area where we do work really closely with that, under this new structure, working with AFL Vic, because obviously that pipeline of athletes, of players, is really important.
One of our favourite people at Beyond the Boundary is Jared Griffin, the CEO of the Kardinia Park Stadium Trust. Yep. Have conversations started with him, and are we discussing, one, the grand final for the GFNL remaining at GMHBA Stadium, and two, that we're locking away a deal that means that not every 12 months we're going, where are we playing the grand final this year? And it's August and we still haven't made up our minds.
So the answer to both of those questions is yes. Both of those things are happening. We've been working with Jared's team and also with Geelong Footy Club on what a longer-term agreement might look like, but very, very keen to get something locked in. And ideally, where our hope is to announce venues at the upcoming season launch. So we'd be looking at announcing finals venues nice and early. So
this is very timely because our next guest is Newcombe President Matt Farrow, and I think I know what Matt's going to want to discuss, and that's Newcombe potentially getting a chance at hosting the grand finals again. So this is all good timing. I'm guessing you've probably spoken to Matt as well.
Not as yet. So in fact, as we speak, we have an EOI out to all of the clubs across Geelong and Bellarine about hosting, and that closes, I believe, next Friday. Yeah. And we've had some strong interest already.
Kate, can I tell you, if you can announce it at the season launch, you are tick, tick, tick.
So that season launch is now, it's Sunday, March 28th?
29th.
29th?
Sunday the 29th, yeah.
So we're 17 days away, and you're going to have finals venues. That's a good start.
That is a
That's
very
what we're
start.
working to.
No. I'm sure you said it's going to be...
You're announcing it. You're announcing it.
You'll be the first to know.
Kingy will be holding you to it. Don't worry, you'll be there.
I'll probably...
You'll probably be...
We'll be there.
Will we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it on a Sunday?
Sunday afternoon.
Gee whiz.
4 till 6.
It's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Sunday.
Then we're going to find dinner somewhere afterwards.
Anyway,
right.
Let's keep moving forward.
New Look board. We touched on it's no longer a commission. It is a board. So we've 3 new faces. Todd Devine as GFNL president, replacing Peter Kelly. Mick Fitzgerald as BFNL president. And Nick Lang brings, obviously, local football netball club Smarts from Colac, having been club president. So the face of the board's changed a little bit with those, I suppose, hands-on people from local football netball clubs who have held president's roles now being on that board. And I suppose the league's having a bit more of a say on behalf of their clubs. Is that a fair assumption of how it'll work?
Absolutely. We had our first board meeting last week, and I mean, I can't imagine what it was like without those guys there. No, they're fabulous, and really looking forward to working with them.
I think that was I think the crux of the commission was I think when it first started, it was due. I think they needed it, but I think now it's sort of come a bit full circle and come back to people on the ground. They hear people on a Saturday afternoon, and then they can bring it back to that board level.
It's
and
brilliant.
Then, yeah. So it's probably warranted, I think, and it's hopefully it works really well.
Well, the first positive start with the GFNL is the fact that they were able to push really hard for that 20-round, 18-game season. Now, you might rebut this, but my understanding is that AFL Barn was probably more keen on 18 rounds, 16 games, but the clubs were very much, if we're going to be a premier comp, we've got to play 18 games. Is that a fair assessment?
Absolutely, and I think it was a really good process. Spoke about that was my first day on the job, and to watch what happened over that probably 10-day period was just incredible and showed how this really can work well with, having Todd representing. That said, Todd Nick was already working closely with him on that as well, but just how the clubs came together and absolutely, and I think it just showed too that the team at AFL Bowen, because it was absolutely the head of football, and her team worked on that, and I was just observing, they certainly had their views, but I think we've landed in a really good place.
The relationship with AFL Victoria now and with Lisa, so we all sort of know Lisa as the region GM. So,
the other Pato?
Yeah, Pato. How's that going to work in terms of internally for you, but also then the relationship between AFL Bowen and AFL Victoria?
Yep, so we're still working really closely together, and Lisa's one of the people I did meet with before I even started in the role. So she and I have a great working relationship already, which is good. And Tim, who works with her in the club development role, is so they're still very much part of the team. We're still, we have our all staff meetings, which they, come to. Lisa and I are bouncing. I'd say we speak sort of several times a day around different matters. We're still working around, exactly what that structure looks like. I know that AFL Vic are looking to set up their, for want of a better word, it's a regional council or like a board structure for what they're doing.
The old West Coast Council, or the Corio Council for the old timers.
Oh, God, the West Coast, they had a West Coast one, didn't they?
Yeah, and we had a Corio Council.
Yeah.
When we were part of the Ballarat district.
Oh, my God.
This is going back a while.
You are old now.
Yeah, I am getting old.
Yes.
I'm good. Kate, we need to make this probably a semi-regular catch-up.
This is not the only one you're coming to, Kate. Sorry.
Don't think I've ticked that box. Don't need to put up with these guys again.
No, I'd love to.
You'll be talking to Sarah Naylor, and then you'll be talking to Kingy. That's the way it works normally. Yeah, head of football, and then you talk to Kingy. Yeah.
You'll be seeing, obviously, us on match day as well, and looking forward to what you can bring, obviously. Nobody is going to win a popularity contest being in sports administration. You can't please all the people all the time, only some of the people some of the time. But we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Kingy.
And look forward to how it all unfolds during your tenure.
Thanks, guys, and thanks so much for the opportunity.